Hello my friends, JR Dukes with JRDukes.com coming at you with another video. For those of you who know me, I love to talk about police type of issues and how to deal with the police. And of course, you have been following me with the Andrew Brown Jr. case. Well, I wanted to get this up online as soon as possible. The judge just ruled in this particular matter, and it says, this is an article by CNN.com, says judge denies media's request for Andrew Brown videos, but allows family to view recordings. This is something that has to stop in America. We have to have transparency. We have to have transparency right away. Obviously, as I've talked about, North Carolina law does not allow for the immediate release of a video pertaining to the police. Basically, the state law requires that it has to go before a judge. This is a law that North Carolina recently passed back in 2016, and it is one of the many things that has to change in order for the police to be held properly accountable. Also this morning, there was released a video footage of a neighbor that apparently lives just down the street from where Mr. Andrew Brown resided. And you can see literally a militia of police officers all dressed out in camo. They got their assault weapons in hand. They're in the bed of a pickup truck that looks like it's been militarized. And basically what is about to happen is an invasion of Mr. Brown's home. And again, remember, this is an invasion of his home that was brought about by a confidential informant for the police from another county that I'll dive more into in another video. This is what's wrong with policing in America, and this has to stop. These police came out, they get real excited, and they get a good kick out of dressing up in their camo gear and their police riot outfits and their huge AR-style weapons. And, you know, it's a good morning. Let's get on out here and let's have some fun. They get in the back of their decked-out, militarized type vehicle. They look like military, and then they head to a home, and a man ends up losing his life by being shot in the back of the head. Outrageous. Now, this CNN article, I want to go through it briefly. It says a North Carolina judge ruled Wednesday that video from 4 body cameras associated with last week's shootings of Andrew Brown Jr. will not be released publicly at this time. The judge also granted in part a petition from the Pasquotank County Sheriff's Office allowing the Brown family and one of their legal representatives to view the videos, but they will not be allowed to receive copies or make recordings. Those rulings came after a district attorney said during Wednesday's hearing that Brown's moving vehicle made contact with law enforcement officers twice during the encounter in which the deputies shot him dead in Elizabeth City on April 21. I told you this was going to happen in a video or two ago. The police always do this here in America. If you're behind your vehicle, even though Mr. Brown's hands were on the wheel of his vehicle, according to published reports, because he gently pulled forward with his vehicle and a deputy or two may or may not have been in front of his vehicle, they are allowed to say, hey, that's a deadly weapon, and they're able to start opening fire and execute this man. This is outrageous. The police should not have been there in the first place. And now an innocent man, a father of 7, actually I've heard he has up to 10 kids, but he's a father of 7 to 10 children, is now dead because the police officers in Elizabeth City, North Carolina, wanted to go out and play Rambo over charges that were never substantiated other than a confidential informant from another county. This is crazy. This is ridiculous, and it has to stop. The article goes on to say, at Wednesday's hearing on whether the body camera footage could be released, Andrew Womble, the district attorney for the county, described what he said was on the video captured by multiple cameras. In the video, Brown is in the stationary car when officers approached shouting commands, Womble said. As officers attempted to open one of the car doors, the car backs up, making contact with an officer, Womble said. The car then stops, moving forward and again, and makes makes contact with law enforcement, Womble said. And the car moves forward. Shots are heard, Womble said. Womble criticized comments that one of the attorneys of the Brown family made, Chantel Cherry Lassiter, previously made about the video incidents. Authorities on Monday showed the family what the relative said was a 20-second piece of the video. Afterwards, Miss Lassiter said the video was an execution and showed deputies shooting at Brown as he sat in his vehicle with his hands on the steering wheel. Basically, my friends, what they're going to say is this man was in a possession of a deadly weapon. The deadly weapon was his motor vehicle that he was in. Apparently, he was in his vehicle when the police officers showed up all dressed out in their Rambo gear, playing Mr. Military Man. And of course, I'm sure this particular individual was scared. And because he did not do exactly what they wanted him to do, allegedly, they just said, hey, he's in a car, it's a deadly weapon, and they opened fire and they killed this man. And that's probably what did happen, but we will find out. I can assure you, I will stay on top of this particular case and I will keep you informed. This is one of the many things that has to change in order for us to have meaningful police reform in our country. The police should not be dressing up as Rambo in military-type fatigues, acting like they're the military, and based on a confidential informant, get a warrant from a judge, and then just simply show up dressed out for war, and then a man ends up dead. And by the way, folks, published reports say there was no weapons found and no drugs found in this individual's cars or in his home. So here is the bottom line. Mr. Andrew Brown is dead for no good reason. The evidence is being suppressed, and it is absolutely unacceptable. I'm calling for the video to be released immediately. Somebody with power has the ability to release that video, and that's what they need to do. Friends, I will keep you informed as to what goes on with this particular case. At any rate, let's stay prayerful, let's stay vigilant, and let's stay on top of this matter. As you always know, I always tell you, friends, to keep the faith. I want you to always have that free mind and never give up. I am J.R. Dukes.